What is up, everybody? Welcome back to The Village, Hidden in the Shed, the official anime podcast of the Shed Network and Alien Entourage. You're here with your boy, Sid Floyd. And you already know it wouldn't be The Village, Hidden in the Shed if it wasn't for my cousin, the Blue Beast of the East, Mike Nice. And today, we got our first official guest on the podcast because Shed Tech 8 ended up becoming our fourth leg member.
That's right.
Shout out to him and Pickle Pat the Thinker. They're not here with us tonight for this immaculate discussion that we're about to have,
yes,
but
for different
we have
reasons.
A wonderful, incredible guest.
I'm also incredible.
Also incredible, full of some dope shit. Very talented musician, rapper, Gambit.
Hey, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Yep. Go follow him at Gambit Raps. We'll do some plugs later on so you can check out where to find all of us.
Right.
Super
Dude,
cool.
thank you for coming through.
Yeah, man.
This is a
So good to be
fucking
here.
honor. This is cool as shit that we're finally doing this.
Yep.
We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, I've been following you guys for a while. I'm always watching your clips and shit, so it's cool to come through.
Much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Much appreciated. And obviously, you're a One Piece fanatic like us.
Yeah.
So it just happened to line up perfectly. One Piece is peaking in manga right now. There's like some wild stuff coming to fruition that
It's never been bigger.
everyone's been talking. Besides Gear 5,
Right.
and
The
this,
live action, too? Yeah.
yeah, live action too. I'm saying the manga itself. Besides Gear 5, this right now is they're like talking about all the things that as you watched or read One Piece all the way through, you're like, yo, who is Vegapunk? Oh shit, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Who is Kuma? Oh shit, he's this guy.
We've been waiting
What
since
is-
like the 90s
Dude,
for
like-
all the shit that's happening right now.
The Lunarians, like everything that's like exactly everything that's happening. You're like, yo, it's finally cut. Like this is all coming out right this second.
Yeah.
God Valley.
Like, I didn't even think we were going to get a flashback. I just thought that was going to be like, a mystery.
Could we start with that?
Yeah.
God Valley.
Yeah.
What do you think about the flashback?
Yo, it really illuminates how fucking despicable the celestial dragons
my
are,
God.
right? Because we know they're awful and we've seen it, But we're just getting more and more evidence against their like the case against the celestial dragons.
Yeah.
Like they're the worst of the worst, and like I don't know. I think the reveal of like Kuma as a slave who was born into like celestial dragon, slavery. Makes a lot of sense in hindsight.
Yeah.
And like, why Ivankov and all these all the revolutionaries and shit, we still know what's up with Dragon or whatever, but like why they're kind of set on the path that they're on with the Revolutionary Army and that shit. And like, so my main thing about it is that like it kind of retroactively makes a lot of the stuff that's already been established make more sense, right? Like character motivations and shit like that.
And just to note, wasn't the incident at O'Hara part of what influenced Dragon to become revolutionary? I believe.
Yeah.
That was part of the origin. If I'm not
pretty
mistaken.
sure. Because they talked about that, right?
Yeah, that was like one of the things that pushed him towards revolutionary.
Yeah. So we just learned that fucking Dragon, had spent time as a Navy officer.
Boom.
That was, I thought that was fucking incredible for me. I was like, oh shit. But it kind of made sense with the Garp shit and all that.
It's
but
been like the Reddit theory for like years. Obviously, like it's just been like it's almost like it was common knowledge to the point where like you read it and you're like, damn,
when they showed
it's official now.
Yeah. They showed a picture, I think a panel of him without the tattoo on his face. And it looked more like Admiral-ish. He was like, oh, he's a Navy dude.
Yeah.
And like now he's like more rugged.
And he's got like the same, almost like a similar tattoo as the Shandians from
from Skype.
Skypea.
Yeah.
Very similar thing, which is, and then when you go back
And that's
to
a huge spot for a lot of stories.
Well, and they're the ones who reference the god fruits. They go, there's four gods when they're doing the sacrifice,
Right.
and they're like, it's the god of the sun, the god of rain, the god of the forest,
Yeah.
which is Greenhorn, and then I think there was one more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So that was the first place that like we kind of heard about Nika, right?
Yeah, essentially, and they did it so vaguely.
Yeah.
Also,
But
I had
then
a
you
question
see
about
back in
that.
the manga where you see like the shadow behind Luffy where he's dancing with the wolves, and it's
Yeah.
him doing.
Yo,
and
yo,
it was
yo.
all just
Can-
foretold.
that
I
was
say,
cool. That was cool.
There's something that's really funny about that because
Yeah.
I've seen that used as like a reference point for like foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But there is in Arlon Park when fucking Usopp's on the roofs like sniping at the fishmen and shit. He jumps from building to building and it's literally the same silhouette. So I was like, yo, Usopp Gear 5, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's been foreshadowed.
Cool.
Yo,
He's the next inheritor of the Nika.
bro, he's got the Lili fruit, bro. Whatever he says comes to
so?
fruition.
It's true, bro.
Yo, he got it.
That is
He
kind of a cool
tells
fruit
a lie
to
and
be
he
like
makes
a
it
reality
true.
thing. Yeah,
everything he says.
or I like the thing that he has the world's best observation hockey of all, and he's having dreams or he's having future sights of things that's happened.
I never heard that. That's so fucking clever.
So it's like, so he's all his visions are coming true because they already did come true because he got it through
like all
observation.
the stories that he used to tell what's her face and stuff like that.
All happened during his voyages with Luffy. Yeah. All the shit he told what her name is with the cat dude.
Yeah, I forgot her name. The girl that he kissed in the in the live action.
Right.
Yeah. I also forgot her name.
But then he told her all these stories and they came true once he went out to see with Luffy. Like he did all those things.
Exactly.
And it's like, and then he'll say like with the little dudes. Right, then he would say, "I'm the god. I'm gonna."
And then he became Usopp the god.
Yeah, and then he ate the
Usopp.
rumble thing, whatever, and made his all that shit. Like,
He told
what was the first thing he told them?
People?
He was like, "I have 10,000 men behind me, and he's gonna be like a fucking division leader."
And how many people does Luffy have in his division right now?
Yeah,
10,000 men, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
some shit like that.
Some shit like that with all of the people that are like 5. in his.
It could be 10,000. I think. No, I don't know. You might be right though.
After Wano, I think it's 10 G's because it was like 5 before he went to Wano when he had Barto,
Bartolomeo, he's the best. I like that dude.
He's cool.
Fact check that.
No, but whatever. Either way, though, it's gonna happen. He's gonna have the 10,000. I think also in the very beginning, there's somebody who had 10,000 in their army. Somebody had like
Whitebeard.
Somebody, and then Luffy was like, I don't want anybody in my shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like a foreshadowing that he's saying 10,000. Eventually, he's gonna get to 10,000.
Yeah.
So like, not to take away from the Usopp observation hockey theory because it is. Like
and to be a sniper
we'll see it.
You need it.
Exactly. But God Valley, I do want to get back to that.
Yeah.
Thoughts on God Valley, the flashback itself.
Yeah.
Satisfied with it?
I wanted more. I
mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck, dude?
The thing is, anytime we go back to like young Roger era, like I'm just like, dude, you could live here for like a long time.
Straw Hat Roger.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen him with it again.
We all thought the same thing. Whereas we want more of that fucking God Valley incident.
For real. Yeah, I just think like that whole like the previous pirate era before like the Great Pirate Revolution or whatever, before Roger's death. That's like still so steeped in mystery. And I just want to I don't even care if we're getting the flashback right now. I just want to know whether or not we're going to get like a deep dive in the same way that Odin got like a deep dive into his backstory. I want that, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
For Roger?
For Roger, for God Valley, for Rocks.
So for God Valley, here's why I don't think that we're going to get what we were looking for is because he showed all of the like the pre-game for all of everything that was about to happen. You see like a snippet of like the celestial dragons mercifully killing civilians and native people of this island. You see the pirates show up because they want the fruit that eventually Kaido gets from Big Mom. So Big Mom does some sick shit there. Yeah, in order to have that fruit, because if you think about it, all the Rocks pirates were going for that shit. And they weren't like they've said they weren't really like a team like that. They were going for their own glory. They just tagged up because they were insanely strong. Yeah. Sure. So something happens and Big Mom gets that fruit.
And Kuma gets the other one.
Valley. Kuma got that one.
They weren't together. The fruits, right?
Or they got separated.
That's
whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
But Kuma, that was sick that we got to see how that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that the Paw fruit, because of how strong it is and its abilities to teleport and do what it does.
That's almost like a god fruit.
That's why it was up there with a mythical Zoan dragon, the Azure dragon.
Right. And I had another question too. Is fucking the Nika god, is he like only in like the Buccaneer lineage, or it was like, was it their guy and then it spread? Or is it multiple people believe in that? I think
that's an older lineage, and that's why they have the legend still, whereas a lot of the information from the Void Century was lost, except for people who were like maybe Lunarians, Buccaneers.
Yeah, because I was wondering if that was like one of their stories passed down of this guy.
But
and then the world government found out and was like, oh, this shit is true, like the poneglyphs or whatever, like they had, or like, and it's like we got to stop it, and that's why it's the connection between Kuma and Luffy is like super big.
Yeah, exactly. But, and you do see this with the God Valley flashback, and that was, I think, probably the highlight of it, because the rest of it was kind of a letdown. And what I was trying to get at was that you see everything about to happen, and then Oda's panel says, "This moment will forever be lost in history."
Bro,
And you just go, dude, so you're not going to show us anything.
You're not gonna see.
So it's forever. So you go, so this moment is forever lost in history. And you're like, what?
Wait,
What?
Yeah,
Dude, what? That's not what I thought this was going to happen. And literally the only like thing you took out of that, the only nugget that came from that is that you saw that the pawpaw fruit was to the same tier as the mythical
As Kaido's
dragons,
fruit.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
And that you get to see Kuma get it. And you get to see where Kuma's whole backstory comes from. Which
And
is
why he's so fucking strong, because all the pain, besides he was a slave before he had the pawpaw fruit.
did you think that it
and
was
he's a Buccaneer, you know. So like,
exactly. Did you think that it was going to come to him? Did you think that he was going to play such an instrumental part in like this part
No
of it?
way.
Or just be like in all honesty, like foresight wise, were you like, oh, I bet as we get down the line, they're gonna be like, yo, this is what Kuma's all about.
Yeah, no, bro. I swear to
not
God,
at
I
all.
thought that he was like done,
Right.
But
like
then
a long
you
time
look
ago.
back, and he is instrumentally the one who set all the Straw Hats in place for the time skip training.
And they had to be following him because Ivankov knew him from the beginning. So they were keeping an eye on him with Dragon, and then he's up there with Dragon for like a long time.
And
it's
his-
like a whole thing.
and
like,
his DNA is what is used for all the pacifistas.
oh, that's right.
So like
With
it's
the
weird that
Lunarians,
almost,
right?
And I don't want to speak for you, but if we didn't see that coming, it's almost weird that we didn't, because
Wait, is it
he's
his
the only
blood mixed with the Lunarians? That's what it was.
he was the pacifistas all came from research.
But they came from
on him.
different-
Like he
Oh,
was.
okay,
all the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pacifistas were made from Kuma. His body
Oh,
was the one
you're
that
thinking
was
about
sacrificed.
the Seraphim.
The Seraphims.
okay,
right,
but
right,
they
right,
came
right,
from the
right.
pacifista technology,
okay.
you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Alright,
for
yeah.
sure.
But all the pacifistas look like him.
right. And then all the ones had the little wings on the back with the Seraphims.
Those are- yeah, the Seraphims.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good spot, by the way.
Hell yeah.
But
we need you here on every episode.
but it's almost weird though that we wouldn't see that coming, because he's still present like crazy.
Yeah.
And then at Egghead, Bonnie runs into the bubble shield or the whatever bubble that Egghead has stored of Kuma's. Remember, she runs into
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was like
Sees
locked
a
up.
flashback.
Yeah, so I think it contained his old memories, you know.
Enough to bring him back from being a cyborg.
That
or
might have been the
lost
intention.
pacifista.
I think it's either that, like he expelled
Fail-safe?
his own memories.
Fail-safe?
Yeah, exactly. So they could fucking shove him into it and bring him back, or it was left for Bonnie to discover. You know, like
Could I add to that is also for the sake of them not being able to get any of that information.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was a Revolutionary Army member acting as a warlord.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Acting
So
as
it's
a
like
warlord dog
classified
for the
info.
government. Dude, he was like, yo, you know, like in some Naruto shit where it's like, yo, you die before you give up that information. So he was like, I'm taking all that from me so that when they're working on my body, man, or they, you know, whatever, they turn me into a robot and they get me saying shit I didn't want to say, like,
Yeah.
at least it's not even there for them to get, because there is classified information on Dragon, Ivankov, Ginny, every Revolutionary Army
Yep.
member, like probably Void Century information,
Uh-huh.
like, and he's got the bloodline of a Buccaneer, so it's probably
Yeah.
you know, DNA,
and it's
memories in
giant DNA that's mixed that makes him a Buccaneer. That's what
Is that what
Ivankov
it
said.
is?
I think he got the blood of a giant. I think there's
So-
like Buccaneer blood is like a blood of or something.
So
She
you
said
know
in
you
the
see
panel.
these like bloodlines kind of coming around in One Piece. Like you see
they
like
got their own fucking Kekkei Genkai now.
They kind of do. Like you see like the ogre is like, you know, Kaido, Yamato, all the
That's
beast pirates
confirmed
put the horns
race?
on to look like them.
Yeah.
You know? The giant I think they probably come from the giant race, because remember the ancient giants like Oars?
Yes.
Were giants with ogre horns.
yes.
And then the giant skull on Onigashima
Has the horns.
is the huge skull with horns on it. With the ogre
and
horns
Saturn
on it.
has the horns, and he
Saturn
came
has-
down as an elder. He might be
Oh my
a
God,
different
we
race.
need-
Maybe they're all different races.
That's gonna be.
That'd be
I want to
cool.
cover that after this too. Is
Yeah.
Saturn? That's
Yeah.
I shouldn't have jumped in. I was waiting.
No, that was
for
good.
drop
No,
a
that was
bomb.
good. No, you're right, because he does have the horns.
does have
it's
horns,
it's,
too.
It's a very like you know.
And
telltale
Oars was
kind
an
of thing.
ancient type. That's why he did have the horns. That was like the point of it.
The
like that.
Black Widow spider. I forgot her name.
Black Maria.
Black Maria from
Yeah.
from
yeah.
Wano. She had the ogre horns too.
Interesting.
Oh, right.
You know,
Yamato.
Then there's the Lunarians.
Yamato's
there's-
got 'em.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Buccaneers. I think Whitebeard Pass was a Buccaneer.
I mean, he's got the fucking build. You know, he's got that big ass chin. You know.
Sid's got a solid theory.
Got the-
He's like, yo, I finally got a solid one. I'm
man.
no one's ever said this yet, I think,
His
on a
chin is big
podcast.
as fuck.
Fuck boy.
That's a good one.
He's a
That's
fucking crimson chin, bro.
Yeah, straight up. That's
Cleft
his real
the
And
Dancing
his son.
Wonder.
And what about his son? Whitebeard's son.
Whitebeard's son.
And the
Ace?
scoff at.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that kid. Oh, he's the worst.
What do you mean? He's a beast, dude.
He's the worst. Him and that.
That's really his son,
that
though. She goes,
wonderful
"Yo, you
woman.
don't believe?"
Do you think it is?
I think why not? I think
Maybe.
I don't
You
think
think he was just like?
No,
he
no,
needs
no,
to
no.
have a son, a
I
real
don't,
son.
I don't think it's his
Bang.
biological son, bro. Like people have been talking about like the possibility of cloning existing in One Piece, with like Vegapunk's technology.
Well,
you
there is
know?
cloning, like
There's
with
cloning.
like shadow clones with Raizo, or like the hand clones with Nico. Those
Yeah,
are kind
but
of
here's the thing. Like, so we know that cloning exists because when fucking Stussy was introduced, like there was like a Vegapunk like speech bubble that was saying some shit like, this is like the first successful clone that we've made that is like a real person. You know, like they may not think that you're a real person, but I know that you are.
Yeah.
You know, so Stussy, as we know her, the CP0 agent, you know, that would like betrayed them and shit.
So sick.
She
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, she is a clone of the old ass shriveled up lady that follows like Whitebeard's son around. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah. So like,
What?
it was based off her DNA. So
No
she was a part of the Rocks Pirates, right?
Yeah.
And when she was young, like they made a clone of her, and that is the Stussy that is like
So
the
that
CP0
could just be a
agent.
clone of Whitebeard mixed with her DNA.
It's quite possible
She
that
could have inseminated herself.
Right.
she
artificially.
could have.
Yeah. Insemination.
So people might, like it's like they might have told him like, yeah, like
Surrogate.
Whitebeard's
Nah.
your dad to explain it, but it's like you're literally a
Yeah.
clone of Whitebeard.
And she's
Right.
just a sick puppy.
like a
She's
Sasuke Mitsuki situation.
No,
I mean, Orochimaru.
I'm reaching
I said
around.
Sasuke. Orochimaru.
Meets your
Reach
man.
And
around.
Mitsuki situation.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't satisfied with it. The God Valley flashback.
Because you want to see
anymore.
Roger fight.
Anymore.
Except he just had the one clash, right?
Dude, you're telling me that Roger and Garp got to fight side by side.
Just one hit
and
each.
You're telling me that it's
tried to-
lost forever in history?
They just tried to one hit each other. And
I
that
think
was
the
it.
exact wording was this moment will forever be dark in history. Or this moment will be forever dark in history or something
Yeah.
like that.
I think
the
that's for
exact
Garp's
verbiage.
sake, though. Not for Roger's sake. I think
you
because
mean?
Garp killed so many people and flattened an island, they're like, you know what?
But
Let's not talk
but
about
he didn't
that.
kill.
Yeah.
He didn't kill the people of the island, bro. He murked Rock's pirates.
Murked-
Roger showed up because of
Roger might have been almost
Roger
dead.
showed up for injustice. Garp showed up because they said there was injustice, but Roger was there. So he got up. He was surrounded by babes, remember?
Yeah.
And fed
Yeah.
grapes on a lawn chair.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a beast.
And Kong was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Blah, blah, blah.
Well,
Like,
that's what I do think that like what actually happened is eventually going to be revealed because it would be kind of fucked if it didn't. Like I feel like it would be like a narrative hole.
Then
you
what
know?
was the panel for, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
I
to
think,
get,
I think
just to
it's
get me mad.
It's
Just
a
for
cock
us to
tease.
talk
It's a little
about?
blue balls, you know.
Ah,
but like,
dude.
think about this though, right? The reason Garp got his pretty ass up and went over to God Valley was because he was like, Roger's there, I'm gonna fuck him up,
Yeah.
right? And then he got there, and there was a situation unfolding that made him be like, I'm gonna team up with Roger,
sick.
you know. And
How
like,
do you
like-
leave that out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we don't know what happened there, and like what I feel like we're gonna get more of that though. Like there's no shot
I
we're not
mean,
gonna get
geez
more
Louise.
of the Rocks Pirates on that day, and like you know the backstory behind that.
There has to be so much cockamamie shit that went down with Fagarland being Shanks' dad. Is the
100%.
reveal that was pretty pretty implied as it gets when you see they released the color part of the manga, like the colored panel, and he had the red hair
Yeah,
and he looked just like him.
I mean, looks like Shanks. Yeah,
Looks just like Shanks.
But we've seen that before.
Yeah, I guess.
And
guess
sometimes it doesn't
well, that-
always unfold.
that's what everybody's saying. Is
You
like,
know, like-
fucking Whitebeard when he met with Shanks on his ship was saying like, when I see your face, it reminds me of the man who gave me this scar. You
And
know,
that was Fagarland.
it was that
God
dude
Valley.
at God Valley.
But we don't know that for sure.
Dog.
We don't know that for sure.
Yo, his
Gotta
dad
be.
was a piece of his dad was a POS, right? He's
yeah,
literally
he was
out
killing
there
so many
innocent
Oh my god.
people,
Like
bro.
10,000
And they're like, yo,
slaves.
he's already up there, blah, blah, blah.
He
He's
was
killing it.
he started with minus
So-
10,000 points or something like
Fucking
that.
hell.
So
Yeah.
then he got up to like 100,000 points quick.
So tell me this.
Jeez.
If there's 100,000 points, he's like Kobe against the Raptors.
Crazy.
Fucking nuts. So tell me this. This being so, say we do make this assumption based off what's been shown that he is Shanks' father, and for some reason, his pregnant wife was also there, and that's or his son was there with him, and that's how he got found in a barrel, right?
He did
He was
get
on a
found in
treasure
a barrel.
chest, yeah.
Treasure
Oh, the
chest or whatever.
chest. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Oh, and
So-
Luffy was the barrel.
Yeah. So at some point that has to. Well, I guess we'll figure out. Maybe he tagged along with his dad, you know, kind of like hopped in the trunk type deal. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking Road to Perdition.
Yeah.
Sounds like Vinland Saga. You know, he's like, I'm out here.
Don't even think about that, dude. I don't want to think about that.
That's a different arc.
Thor's is such a beast for that.
Such a beast.
He
But,
could've killed it.
but
Should've
that's a
killed
perfect
everybody.
reference. Is maybe it was something like that, and he snuck into a treasure chest, and that's how it happened. But to see the contrast between him and his dad, maybe he thought highly of his dad, or at some point because he was a holy knight. You know, if he is like of celestial DNA, and this is all true. And then snuck along and saw what his dad like actually does.
Possibly, yeah.
And
was doing the
if you
games
think
or
about
whatever.
for Garland, what they showed from him is he is literally has no regard for humanity, like whatsoever. Like he's in it for the game, the most dangerous game, hunting humans, right? And Shanks is a liberator, the exact opposite. Where Luffy gets his sense of freedom from, isn't from his grandfather or his. You know
The
what
bar
I'm saying?
scene is really what made Luffy like open his eyes.
100%.
Yeah.
And Shanks is that guy who stands up for the people who can't stand up for themselves.
And
took
they just
the rap when he supposedly remember when they were talking about how he blew up that island and he really didn't. It was they went into it in One Piece Red, I think. A little bit, and it was kind of how like
they thought
he
that
took the
Shanks,
blame
you're right.
for
I forgot about
destroying
that.
an entire island, and it was the government, and he just shouldered it because it would, like, you know what I'm saying, like
Right. Because he's a
that
pirate. He's a
dude.
bad guy.
But his dad was a good guy that was bad, and Shanks became a bad guy that was good.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of sick if you think about that.
It is,
and it
yeah.
makes sense, like if that is true, like. But that being said, what does that say for his rank? If he knows the inner workings of the Celestial Dragons and Marie Joie, because that's where he's from, and his dad was a holy knight, and he grew up in that, and that's why he was able to visit. That's why they
Like
call
a
him.
Sabo
That's why they
kinda
call him the
thing.
snitch hair pirates, you know, because he went and he was like, "I got to talk to you about a pirate here."
And he
da,
does
da, da,
talk
da.
about to them, right? He does like
He does.
direct
He meets with them directly. So that being said,
That's cool.
we all know he's strong as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know
Ultimate
everyone's scared
hockey.
of him. Yeah,
sure.
we all know everyone's scared of him. Does his rank and immunity somewhat lie in the fact that he became an outlaw that knows, just like Doflamingo had his warlordship and was
another
basically
same
had wild
similar
immunity
story.
because he knew some extra shit that was going down. And they were like, yo, we actually can't fuck with him because he knows too much.
Because he was born in
and
it.
that's Shanks. But Shanks is
Yeah,
a
same
Yonko.
thing. Yeah.
And they're like, dude, he knows.
Well, Dofi
everything.
could have been up there if he wanted to. I think he was cool where he was
Not
sitting
strong
with the
enough
Kaido.
to?
I mean, he was
too
strong.
much of a mobster, but he wasn't. Nah, because he at the end of the,
The
day,
Birdcage shit was super fucking strong.
But he at the end of the day, he would have never beaten Big Moms. He would have never beaten Kaido.
He couldn't beat Luffy, and that was when Luffy was getting his ass.
But
whooped
Law
by
helped
Kaido.
him.
did lose.
Law helped him.
He did lose.
And
That's
he-
true.
Yeah.
They
Luffy
jumped
does
him.
lose all the
He
time,
loses
but
to
that's
everyone,
not good.
But then he wins in the end.
He always
Yeah.
wins.
He
in
loses the battle, but wins
He
the war.
bounces back, bro. He's rubber.
It's
Dog,
true.
It's the nature of the sun god fruit. We talked about this on our last podcast. Oda, huge fan of DBZ.
Yeah.
He says it all the time. Luffy is the Nika sun god fruit. He has like the story behind that is like, you know, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a monkey god or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the thing I heard was that it was like some sort of like African religion thing or like African mythology. And there's something like that's like a parable to it. I don't know if it's like the sun god or whatever, but it's.
I thought it was a mix between that and Chinese philosophy or something like that, or it was maybe I'm just totally offshoot right now. And
You might be thinking of
probably should've looked
Goku's based on Journey to the West.
No, he is, but I'm
Yeah.
saying I think that Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, like the whole thing. I think that
Yeah,
there's a
like
reference.
like Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
I think it was some of the reference to what it was. You know.
Thank you for saving me.
Thank you so much. That is why you're here.
You should know all this nerd
That
shit,
got
man.
dicey. But all the Saiyans get stronger by losing in a battle.
Yeah, the Zenkai boost.
Yeah, and that's Luffy. That's the embodiment of One Piece.
Oh, I had
This
a
Luffy
great
loses
thing,
to
right?
everyone and fucking powers up.
If Dofi is short for Doflamingo, is Luffy, then that means it's short for Luflamingo.
Luflamingo.
The Flamingo. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
dude. Lu Flamingo, Monkey D. Lu Flamingo.
That's hard. That's hard as fuck, bro. That's
Dog.
cold.
Dude.
When I read that, I was like, "That's insane."
Oh, you read that?
I read a comment
Ah,
of it.
fuck,
Oh
dude.
yeah, I didn't come up with that. I wish I
Dude,
did.
I thought you came up with it. Now I have to include that in the clip at the end where I read that in a comment.
Of course, they should know that I read that. It's too good.
That's way too good, dude. I thought
And
that
then someone
all
was
you.
like, or Lufalgar.
Lufalgar.
Because it's Traffy.
It's not bad. Traffy, Lufalgar. That's also good. But he's the one making these nicknames.
That's very true. That is true.
You know?
Maybe he made his own nickname because he didn't like his
Dofi.
name.
He didn't make Dofi.
Maybe he made Luffy. That's not his real name. He made up Luffy because his name was like Lufalgar.
Lufalgar.
And now he's like, nah, Luffy. That's fucking Lufalgar sucks.
Monkey D. Lufalgar. Doesn't ring quite the same.
Nah,
you know?
he's like Luffy.
So if Shanks is Fagarland's son, right? Mm-hmm. Who knows this?
You do.
Well, I'm saying who knows this the whole time?
For sure, like the
Garp?
the five elders, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
What about Garp?
Garp, maybe
He was there.
he for sure knows. Yeah.
But if he knows,
But he didn't know that was going
that-
on, right?
but
Those
it-
type of things, or did he know those things
Oh, I
went
think
on?
so. He was just like, "Yo, they're the worst. Fuck them." A lot
Well,
of people
that's
actually
why-
don't like Garp. They say he has very little conviction. He let Ace get killed. Like
He did, but
he-
the thing is,
he
like,
could have destroyed everyone if he's
I
really
understand.
that strong. Like,
I
He's
understand.
older.
I get it, but like I do like to kind of preach the defense of Garp, just in the sense that like he believes in justice as a Marine and
Does he?
believes that like Marines are like like not all Marines. Like he obviously rebels against the Marine system and shit like that, but like his whole thing is that like order must be maintained.
but then why is he chilling on a lounge chair while there's a culling game going on at God Valley, and he doesn't want to go until he finds out that he could fight someone that's worth fighting?
Fair enough. I mean, he's a selfish motherfucker.
But that's
too,
what people are saying. They're like, yo, this really reveals that like his sense of justice isn't what they said it was.
Yeah,
It's
that's probably true.
Or it was after that.
Maybe that could have been the
That
thing
could have
that
been the-
actually gave him like a philosophy
Sorry,
for like Garp's version of justice.
Garp's version of justice is
Yeah, maybe he's more that
Interesting.
nonchalant guy, like, fuck it, I do what I do. And then when that happened, he's like, all right, you know what? I just teamed up with, like you saying, I just teamed up with Roger. So this shit's got to stop. Like, we got to fucking get some order in this.
And like he took Roger's kid, like he asked him to raise him, and he was like, I'm
true,
not
too.
fucking doing that shit, and then he did that shit,
Yeah, that's true, too.
So, like,
Very
yeah.
true.
you're right.
It's
You're
a little
right.
bit beyond what he says.
So if he knew though, do you think that might have been some of the reason why he didn't want Luffy being anywhere near Shanks? Not even just the fact that you always thought it was him just being a pirate.
Yeah, I
But
never
do you
thought
think
about that.
maybe he's like, yo, dude, that dude's a piece, like his dad was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, I think even just because he knows that Shanks has connection to like the darkest part of the world, like the secret, government and all this
And,
shit,
and Fagarland's still alive. He's
and he's still there.
He's there. He's
And
a holy
so,
knight.
yeah,
Just
he knows all about the celestial dragons. He probably knows about the five elders. He knows
knows
about like
Void
the
stuff.
fucking
He might
Void
meet with
Century.
Figureland, and that's who he's been meeting with the whole time.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
all we know.
Yeah.
We have
So
no
it is
clue.
possible that like it was more based on him being like, you're gonna get yourself killed if you get involved with this dude because he's bad fucking news. He's connected to some shit you don't know about.
Like the worst inner workings.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, that's
Some
quite
Illuminati
possible.
stuff.
Yeah, basically. Essentially, yeah.
That's what it is.
And you think so? If like Garb obviously knows who his father is, and he knows how rebellious he's going to be. He's like, I want Luffy to be on the Marine side because he's going to be swayed by him super easily. Type shit. Like
Very easily.
because it also ate him. Like when Luffy, Ace, and Sabo were together, it's like all similar. Like Sabo was a royal, and he rebelled hard. And then Ace, well, I guess Ace, I don't know why he rebelled. Like,
Ace was the son of a king.
Yeah, it's like
He was
True.
royalty.
he didn't want to live
He
up
was
to
the
him.
son of a king.
He was, and then Luffy
is the son
of
of
a
a
gods, I
revolutionary
guess.
emperor.
Yeah. It's all the different forces of like the world, right? It's like you got like the descendant of a revolutionary and a marine, the descendant of a celestial dragon, and the descendant of the pirate king.
So then,
And,
yeah,
so,
where
like,
does
it's all the factions.
and where does
kinda
Garp
teaming up?
And
Where
they
does
all
Garp
become
come from, though?
and they all become the most and arguably if Ace was still alive, it would be insane. But Sabo's way stronger than Ace.
No, yeah, for sure.
Not what Ace could have been, because Ace
Right.
could have been stronger than probably anybody.
Yeah, but he died when he was young as fuck.
And he never learned hockey because he relied on his Logia. And Blackbeard said that too. Like multiple people said that about Ace. I think they said that in like one of the books too, because I think Whitebeard might have said that when he was fighting or something like that.
That is like one of the things that like I understand why it exists because it's like a narrative. So obviously you're gonna have things paced out a certain way. But if you're just thinking about the world as a whole, it's like, why the fuck would Whitebeard not teach Ace about hockey? Or like, why would why did it take so long for like the whole Straw Hat crew to learn that hockey exists? If they're going into
and
the
they
new
all
world.
kind of had it, even not even knowing
well, if you
it.
think about where they were though,
yeah.
it wasn't until they were in the Grand Line
Yeah.
where you need it.
But Garb never taught Luffy about hockey.
He didn't train him like that. He lived with bandits. Like so.
That's true.
And fought animals. You know, and I think what they were trying to do was steer them away. Luffy has Conqueror's hockey. Ace has Conqueror's hocky. Sabo's hockey with his Dragon Claw shit is insanely strong. Yeah. Insanely strong. So, you know, they maybe tried to steer them away from it, but I think though that you don't, before you reach the Grand Line, you didn't need hockey. If you were a Devil Fruit user, they were like, oh my God, that's a Devil Fruit?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we don't even know what to do with those guys.
Yeah, that's true.
They're so strong.
You couldn't touch them, yo.
You can't touch them.
They were getting fucking, the whole team was getting wiped by Smoker.
Smoker is insanely strong before he reaches the Grand Line and fights the first dude with hockey who has arguably some of the best armament hockey in the show.
Yeah.
What's his face? Everything would get stuck to his face. Remember what I'm talking about? Homeboy from Dressrosa? Virgo.
Yeah.
One of the best armament hockey in the show.
He has the full body hockey.
Smoker fights him and gets damn near murked.
Yeah, he got fucked up.
And then gets
and
almost
and
then almost gets murked by Doflamingo until Aokiji steps in.
Yeah, first dude that fucked him up big time was Croc.
Wait, that wasn't the guy that got beat by Law? I was thinking of a different guy, I think.
The guy who get beat by Law.
No,
That's the
Virgo
same
did.
guy?
Yeah.
Who got beat by Law.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And Law fucking killed him too. Like he
And
like
slice-
Luffy doesn't kill anybody, but Law, like the first dude he squares up with, he fucking murders him. You know? Like he's built different.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Law is a
and
beast.
Luffy doesn't kill people, but I don't think he's like not trying to.
He killed Kaido and Big Mom.
No, I don't think they're dead.
You don't think they're dead?
No.
They're just chilling in the lava?
Dude, did you see the water? The magma is bubbling around them.
Oh, you think they got like some hockey shit going
Bro,
on?
Big Mom's is like, she sleeps
be.
and her hockey is, you know what I'm saying? When she's
That's true.
asleep, she's impenetrable.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
No,
Sorry.
No, she's got a lot of kids, so I
Fucking
don't know.
phrasing, bro.
She's got so
That's
many
crazy
kids.
to say. Whoa.
Trust me, this bitch is impenetrable when she's unconscious.
Dude, oh my God.
Hello, Cosby know me?
Dude,
That's not good. Edit that out.
that's not a good bit. But no, I think that's the reason why. And Kaido has tried to kill himself so many times.
Yeah, that is why he plants the earth.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
like
best.
magma might not get them.
I don't think so, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
might
don't
be
know.
right on that.
I've thought a bit about it because obviously, like, Kaido, that's a big debate in the community is like, you know, what would Luffy fresh versus Kaido fresh look like right now? Now that he has
Dude, Luffy fought Kaido after Kaido fought everyone.
everyone, like
He
the
was
whole fucking
wasted.
army.
He was also controlling an island at the same exact time
Yeah.
With the flame clouds or whatever.
while he
Yeah.
was fighting.
Yeah.
You know, Luffy came in as the reserve fight after dying, and
He
then
got
Yeah,
fucked up
yeah.
so much.
yeah,
He died
and I mean,
3
Gear
times
5,
against Kaido, I
So
think.
yeah, so Gear 5, like, probably beats Kaido at the end of the day. I mean, maybe
Yeah. Well, he has like protag powers.
fresh one-on-one off the rip. Like I don't know, he was giving Gear 5 problems. He wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Not way less
I mean,
problems.
he literally
than
killed Luffy, yeah.
Way less problems than Kizaru gave him at Egghead.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that come back. That's a good thing to bring up. Solid transition to that is you're at Egghead. Kizaru wiped Straw Hats at Sabayori.
Yeah.
Wiped. Obviously pre-time skip.
Yeah.
Thank you to Kuma.
No, that was one thing I wanted to bring up too. If we maybe could
Well,
round
that's
back to
what's
it.
great. It's this Egghead is essentially fucking Sabaody Part 2, right? Like Sentomaru fucking fucked Luffy up, you know.
I'm so
Kizaru
glad we're on the same
fucked
point.
Luffy up, you know, and like he's
That's awesome.
He's
just
so strong too.
he's fucking
It's like you're
wrecking
reading
him
my-
right now. And he said like I'm gonna get stronger than that guy.
Yeah.
You know? And we're just seeing it happen now.
And he got hit pretty hard as Luffy does, and came back and went, "Oh, I got this," and punched his hand through his head.
Yo.
Which this is a dude who is as fast as light, if not faster, debatably, and is a Logia user. He punched him through his head.
Through
Did
his
he grab
fucking
it?
skull.
Did he grab the light and like bend it? Is that?
He did it with the lightning when he fought Kaido, but I don't remember
Yeah.
if he.
Well, he punches fucking Kizaru and his fist goes through the other side of his head.
Yeah, I do
And he,
remember that. And
bends
he
around.
like gets knocked out.
Yeah.
because I thought it was similar to that JJK with the chick who could grab the air.
Oh yeah, where she can make the barriers.
and she like takes the dude's fucking blast and like whips it around, and then I
Yeah.
think fucking who has the copy ability in JJ? We just found out.
Oh, that's
that might
what the fuck? The guy from Volume 0. I can't
Oh,
remember his
Yuta.
name.
Yuta.
So then
Yuta,
he
yeah.
uses the fucking. He warps the sky, and the dude that blasts out of his hair, he grabs his shit and throws it up, and then it comes back down. For some reason, I thought Luffy did something similar to that.
I think it is the lightning you're thinking of.
Okay.
Against
When he was
Kaido.
fighting
Maybe.
Kaido, yeah.
Oh, that might have been it then.
Yeah.
But what did you want to bring up about Sabaody?
That because when we actually talking about it like before the podcast, that Kuma still had his will at that point, and then do we know that he's like sent all the Straw Hats to their correct places on purpose for the time skip?
Yes. And not only that, bro, but like I've thought about that too, because like think about the skill that would require. When Law first gets his fruit, he can't even use it because it's like I haven't learned how to use this new skill, right? Like it's like he's trying to heal whatever, like Doflamingo's brother, and he can't do Corazon, and he's just like like silly kid, you can't just like, it's not magic. You have to know how to use it, So if we're to believe that Kizaru is sending them, or not Kizaru, Takuma is sending them to specific locations, right? The knowledge is impressive, right?
Yeah.
But like he'd need to be like within like fucking 0.001% of the correct angle.
And knows where they're going.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
No, I think
And then
I
to
think
have
that
prior-
he's able to. I don't think it has to do with direction. I think he's able to choose where it goes.
Yeah.
don't
Okay,
think
even
it's-
if he can do that,
Yeah.
which I could believe that, his prior knowledge to knowing where to send them is insane. Like,
so-
how does
so
he
impressive.
know
Well,
where
the only
to send
reason
them?
the only reason why I would say that is because he was there for Thriller Bark and he watched them all fight
But
Moria.
I think it's
Yeah.
Dragon.
He saw-
It has to be Dragon.
Well,
it's
that's
like
it.
send
And
Luffy
that
to
was-
Rayleigh, send fucking Zoro to Mihawk.
Even
and
if
then
it
I don't know
wasn't-
how you even get Nami to the weather place, which is a little sketchy when you watch
I don't
the
even-
weather island area. That gets a little funny.
I
to
don't
me.
even
the
know-
wizards that control the weather.
Yeah.
hey, easy. And the guy
Yeah.
with the Bible,
Sanji at the fucking Sanji at the Trans Village.
dude.
I
That's,
mean,
that's
that
the
was a
funniest
little
thing in the world.
dicey. A little
Yeah,
dicey.
But I don't. Even if it's not Dragon, I mean, he could have easily been like, this is a dude who's traveled the world as a revolutionary, like freeing people. So he's probably seen all these nations. He's been to all these places as a warlord and a revolutionary. He's been in all these places, and he could have easily had the knowledge to be like, oh, this is where she should go. This is where he should go. This is where,
Certainly.
and where's Nico Robin most safe with the revolutionaries?
But
Sends
also,
her-
I think-
sends her directly to the revolutionary army.
Yep.
And I also
know?
think though that it was a planned. It couldn't have been on the moment idea.
No,
you
and
know
I
what I
think-
mean. It was like a planned thing. Like I'm gonna go and get a hold of these.
And
people.
I think it was loosely referenced, but correct me if I'm wrong. When Nico Robin gets to the revolutionaries, they say Koala, and one of the other dudes goes, "Oh, we've been waiting for you to get here."
I don't remember.
And
That's
if I'm not
possible.
mistaken, they were like, "Oh, like we've been waiting for the day that you finally got here." So like maybe it was something along.
And it makes
those
sense
lines.
with the whole she can read the poneglyphs things. Like it would make sense for the
Well, that's why it was
revolutionary
kind
to,
of like
to get
passed
a hold
over,
of them.
Yeah, I
you
mean
know?
the whole world like are constant, like the higher up people, like the Yonkos and all that shit, are always saying shit like "you're not ready." When they're talking about like they're seeing the Straw Hats in the newspaper and everything,
Mm-hmm.
they're all saying like like you're not there yet. So that was probably kind of the plan, was like they're seeing how quickly they're picking up notoriety and like moving up the pirate world, and they're like able to think ahead like. They're gonna get fucking murdered if they like go into the new world right now.
absolutely.
And
And
So-
they do.
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah,
They
that's
do.
Saboti. That's what it's all about.
Oh,
They
dude, that's
do.
another thing. If we're going to talk about Saturn, maybe this would be a good segue.
Good.
So Saturn, when he comes in and grabs fucking what's her name,
Bonnie.
Yep. And he's saying, like this is whatever, this is the last thing, and Luffy's there cooling down from the Gear 5.
Yeah.
And he
Hard
was
body.
like, and he tries to get him, but then Frankie punches him out of the way and then grabs him, and he's like, I want to see if your fate is strong enough. Like he goes, if your fate is strong enough to get you out of this, I would like to see it. And it's like obviously their whole story, they're always getting beat and then they come in at the end to win. It's like, but the fate, I wonder if like the elders were like, this group of people it's like fated to be together, and this is
Well, I think
a
it's the
problem.
D. I think it's the monkey.
But
I
like
think it's
Zoro even and Sanji even, I think that is like a fated thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
there's
Where it's
multiple
like-
references to that. Like when Luffy's on the fucking executioner stand, Buggy's about to kill him, and then the lightning strikes,
Right.
and like that saves his life, like a fucking act of God. And Sanji
An
turns
act
to
of
Zoro.
God or the rain
Or
the rain
dragon.
god dragon.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, well, it's probably dragon. Yeah, but I love that Sanji turns to Zoro and goes like, "Hey, do you believe in God?" When that happens,
Yo, and here's that's why the references are so strong to Dragon having the rain god fruit and being, the father of Luffy.
yeah,
Yeah, nah, Dude, the foreshadowing is absolutely ridiculous.
He's on some other shit.
Always.
Who foreshadows shit and then like 30 years later drops what they foreshadowed in like the fucking 90s.
The Goda, dude.
The Goda.
But with Saturn, when you're saying like testing his fate and stuff like that, I do think that a lot of that it has to do with like the fact that he's Monkey D. Luffy.
The D for sure.
And the fact that they're like, yo, this fruit has evaded us forever.
Uh-huh.
They have like that whole conversation.
for
like,
800
no matter
years.
how many times we try, this thing keeps getting away
And
from us.
Emu
Like,
says that the D is the government's enemy, number one enemy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
we
enemy-
also
the
find-
natural
yeah.
enemy of God.
Did we find out? That's when we find out about Lilith or like Cobra's like great ancestor or whatever.
Well, I think that was a couple chapters earlier.
Oh, okay. Because then we
I'm not
found out that
mistaken.
she was the D.
Yeah.
That like spread the poneglyphs around, and then like obviously like Luffy then saves Alabastus. It's like another fate.
Just
thing.
this weird fated thing.
Like,
Same
and
with
it's a D.
Skypiea. Same with,
and also maybe what's his
Wano.
name? Nolan was a D.
dude.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows? Like because
Yeah.
he was a crazy character in history.
Nolan D. Liar.
Like he could, and he was super strong,
Yeah.
honest. And he took the brunt of the being a liar and never fucking folded.
Yeah. It's interesting, like the whole concept of the D thing, because it really seems to just represent like an upheaval of the order. And like Blackbeard's a really interesting character for that idea because like he seems to be like the wrong way to go about revolution.
Yeah.
Is supposed to be what he like represents, where it's just like, whatever is the ends or the means to the end, like whoever has to die to overthrow the system, he represents chaos, and like Luffy kind of does in the same sense where it's like, but it's like rebirth, it's like revolution, where it's the correct way to overthrow the system or whatever, or like the ideal way or whatever. I think that's kind of what he's supposed to represent. So they kind of are like interesting because they're mirrors of each other, which is like the first thing they established, which is like, like I hate this cherry pie, I love this cherry pie, whatever. They're in the,
Oh, Blackbeard you're talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
The first thing they establish is that they're mirror opposites of each other, but like it's interesting how Blackbeard is continuing to accrue power in the same way that Luffy is, and they're kind of like vying for the spotlight and the top position, like kind of neck and neck. But they're going about it completely different ways, and he's doing like the scummy typical pirate thing where it's like, betraying people, stealing things, killing people, whatever, to get more power. And Luffy is just like being a good person.
Yeah,
and
nonstop.
Yeah, and that attracts allies to him that help his cause and stuff. And so I'm curious to see where the parallels between like Blackbeard and Luffy continue to go, and like kind of more about the real meaning of what like the D initial means.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
also because they both like Shanks and Blackbeard are connected, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And then it's like Blackbeard is going against Luffy, but they're both connected to Shanks. I thought that's fucking interesting too. But the D, they don't explain anything about his D, right? At all?
Blackbeard?
Teach? Yeah. Like
well, I mean, it rocks D also.
Yeah.
right. So, because I always thought that the D event at the beginning was going to be like they have to be related, but now it's to a point
They
where
have
it's like
some
if you
bloodline. I think it maybe has to be
it has to be a bloodline, or if you
Something.
bear the D, it's like
comes from something.
it
Though.
has to come from something.
Yeah.
So that's weird. So they all have to come from some similar bloodline, but there's not getting to be
Ancient.
a lot of them. To be
But
honest,
that's what I'm saying. That's,
like there's a bunch of D's popping out.
They're all
Yeah.
over.
A
Like
bunch
you're
of
like,
D,
what the
big
hell?
pause, big
All these
pause.
D's are popping out everywhere.
a lot of D's.
Put that D away.
but like, what's going on, dude?
I want to.
Newgate wasn't a D. Come on.
I wasn't. He was the most famous one that wasn't. And Shanks,
But like Shanks, but we don't. Oh, because celestial dragons wouldn't be D's.
probably not. But I do want to bring it back to Saturn because this is a question that I had: was if the five elders sent Saturn to Egghead to fight the Straw Hats and Vegapunk, is it because he's the strongest, or is it because he's the weakest?
This is the fucking weakest. There
Has to be, right?
for sure. Yeah, definitely.
He has to be, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, it's a. I
Do
mean,
they send him there to just end it right? They're like, yo, just send Saturn there. He'll just end it.
No, I think that
Or
they're
it's like, yo, send him so that like we could kind of see.
but
what-
then don't you think he maybe would mention kind of like a thing like I don't want to be like I'm not the.
no,
you know,
I don't
he
think
would
he
just
would.
do it.
I don't think he would. Or are they all? They're not all.
Is he an
equal
ogre?
strength.
it's
right?
the will of Emu, bro. If Emu
there's
tells him to
his
go
devil
do some
fruit.
shit, he's gonna do it. You know. They like bow down to that dude and
For
shit.
sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Or
And
whatever.
he sits
Emu
upon the
is.
throne that no one sits on,
Yeah.
and they all listen to him. So
But it's just weird why they would. It's like, yo, they know that this dude has gear this Gear 5 ability.
Yeah.
But they didn't really expect him to be there, I thought. Didn't they say
they-
in there? They
they-
were like, we didn't expect Straw Hats to be here.
Yeah, but then when they knew that he teleported himself. Remember, he like pops up through a fucking.
He pops up.
Like
He summons himself.
yeah, like a hell gate.
Yeah, like a hell gate.
He
pops up.
Yeah, he pops up real quick. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
you
the
didn't
pull-up
think
game is crazy.
You didn't
He's
think
outside.
You didn't think I'd pull up? I'm
He's
right here.
outside. Maurice,
here.
what?
I'm
outside.
I'm inside. He pops up inside, bro, right in the living room.
Yeah. First thing he does is fucking kill a random Marine who looks at him.
Yeah.
Bro, raw.
They were like, don't look at him.
Who's got a raw fucking intro than that? Where like he pulls up on the spot.
Oh,
dude on his own
thing.
side looks at him and he fucking sucks his soul out.
Beautiful segue.
Not
segue.
opening, but King did that when everyone saw that he was Lunar and he killed everyone.
Oh, yeah.
all the beast
That was-
pirates
yeah.
that were there.
And then Zoro, your favorite scene when he kills all the fishmen.
Dude, that was one of my.
But
favorites.
dude, another point that you're making is when fucking he grabs Bonnie and Sanji comes running in. We think from what the panels look like that Saturn hits Sanji with Conqueror's Haki and just knocks him to the floor. That's a crazy intro too, because Sanji's super strong at that point, and he just gets knocked down.
And he's
can't
been
fucking move.
around for Conqueror's hockey battles. Like he's been there. Like
and
you
he's
know,
not getting knocked down by Luffy's.
Nope.
He hasn't got
That's true.
knocked. So it's like
Luffy versus Kaido clash. He was in the same building as the Big Mom versus
And a lot of-
Kid and
a lot of
Law.
people went down.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like he's now that this means Saturn's hockey is that strong when he knocked Sanji in midair.
Because there was no he didn't move his arms.
I mean,
the
it makes
sword
me
was still in
wonder,
his
yo,
chest.
because I don't even know if it is hockey. You know, I'm assuming it is, but like, you know, he seems to be like this seems to be marking a shift for kind of like the dynamics of the One Piece world because like we basically confirmed that these dudes are like literal demons.
Yeah.
And that like demons exist. You know, so that we've known about devil fruit and shit like that, but there's like actual demons in the One Piece world.
Is it like those shadow things or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, so,
kinda
like-
yeah.
Yeah, and like the portal that pops up and all that shit, you know, like he's like saying like it's been so long since I've been on the surface world, you know, like he's like it explains why he's like fucking 1,000 years old or some shit like that, you know. So we don't know for sure if it is the same type of power that like, you know, we're used to seeing. It could be some wholly other thing that like hasn't really been established yet, or it could just be
100%.
that he has really really fucking strong hockey.
yeah, absolutely. We don't know.
Or it could have been foreseen. They're like, yo, eventually we knew that all these devil fruits were going to be getting discovered, and it's going to be a problem eventually. That's why they were out there trying to collect them all. Probably, obviously, the government's out there trying to collect all the devil fruits because it's like they can't like all this is a
Oh, so
problem. Every
the will
devil
of
fruit.
people, right, that manifested themselves. It was like it was always a problem.
Yeah. It's dreams, which makes me wonder because we got that explanation that devil's fruits are like dreams and desires from people around the world manifest. Who the fuck was like, I want to be soap?
I know, yeah.
I want to be clean, dude. I
That's
wish
like
I was
the-
clean.
I
Someone
just
who's
want to be
dirty.
made of fucking
I want to be
soap.
springy.
I want
to
that
be
more than anything else. Yeah.
Is it more of a cursed energy type thing then? You think that people are scared of soap?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
If you
curse
get
of
soap in your eye,
It's all
Yeah,
the
it
stinky
stings.
motherfuckers.
Or soap
all
on
the
the tongue
soap in
for
your
cussing.
eye, and all
Yeah.
the soap in your
all
mouth.
the kids for getting soap in their tongue for cussing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like wax, like burning your
fucking
candles,
wax,
burn
yeah.
houses down.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could be wax.
Wax. I just want to be.
But that's not too bad. Waxes wasn't a bad one.
No, that was really good actually. He was pretty strong.
Yeah,
Took down 2 giants.
and he saved Ace.
Yeah.
It would make sense for
Number
people being
3,
like,
right?
there's like things that make you lighter and heavier, you know? So people are like, I wish I was less fat, or I wish I had more muscle, or whatever. It's like, yeah, that makes sense in that context. Yeah, I can make you like fatter or you know, lighter, you know?
Yeah, but I wish I was magnets.
I wish I was
A
fucking
kid?
magnets.
I wish
bro.
I wish I controlled.
No, I think
souls.
it's the fear of. Those
wish I was
things,
a
though.
dragon.
I don't think devil fruits come from the love of things. I think
No, they
it's the
said
fear
it
of
was.
things.
They said it's from people's dreams.
yeah, nightmares.
Yeah, their desires.
Oh, nightmares.
Can I ask,
gotta
like,
be.
It's desires.
So they're devil fruits.
yeah, so like in
Well, the
real life,
government named them that.
if you had the opportunity to eat any devil fruit that's been presented in the series, you guys thought about what you would pick?
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's Katakuri's.
Mochi mochi fruit.
No, but I think honestly, if I had like, all right, now I don't want to pass now. But if I had to pick, dude, I mean, Ace's fruit is pretty fucking dope
It's raw. Yeah.
because you could fly with it, which is a big advantage if you could fly.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then you have fire. I mean, it's like seeing. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
What's yours?
Kizara's fruit for sure.
Yeah.
Light fruit, bro.
That's a good
You
one.
could go anywhere
Fuck,
in
I
the
fucked
entire
up.
world. Yeah, like literally he shoots up into the stratosphere and then beams himself to like the other side of the fucking planet.
But Rayleigh's hockey beat his kick, and
that's
so I'm
true.
like,
That is true.
You know what one I would want?
that doesn't really.
That
make
girl
it
that takes the
myself.
little like kibby
dumplings?
dongles out of her cheek.
To control animals.
Animals.
But you do like animals.
Yeah, and I'd be like, I'd feed them to like
He's a bird nerd.
Yeah, I'm a bird nerd. I'd be out there just like
Give him
watching.
some crows.
Yeah, I'd be fishing, and a shark would grab it, and I'd have a shark for a month, right? It's like 2 months.
Is it only a month? No, but
Yeah,
then
it's
they
like-
can
and
choose.
then they could choose, and I'm sure they think I'm a chill dog.
they
I'd
would
be
Yeah,
like,
they're
yo,
gonna be friends
would
with you
think-
after that.
yo, he's a dude, that's my dude, and I'd show back up, and they'd be,
They
yeah.
No, that's a fucking great. That's like a real fruit.
That's me,
That's
like,
like
I-
super real
like-
in the real world. That could
Like
be
I
useful.
would be like, that would sick.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
yo, I
think-
gotta rob a bank, and I feed my cheek paws to an orangutan.
I was thinking like a grizzly bear. You just send it in Liberty.
But what if it
done.
doesn't eat the dumpling?
It doesn't eat it out of my
No,
hand.
you're just like, and
Yeah.
you just miss.
Well, I gotta do an Usopp like
Yeah, you got.
Yeah. You got to give him that.
I think
you know-
Kizaru I think Kizaru is probably
You know whose fruit?
at least top 2.
You know whose fruit though
fruit, yeah.
that I really would outside of just that, because that's like a real world application I'd like. But as far as power goes, and I think that this person like is in a weird position with like the government and shit, so that's why it kind of gets like that's kind of why he gets kind of like slept on a little bit. But yo, Caesar the clown's fruit, the gas
Gas
fruit.
fruit, yeah.
Being able to poison, explode, float, alter
Not
the
get hit by
atmosphere.
anything.
Like you could do
yeah.
so much stuff
You
with
could
his
do some
fruit.
crazy shit.
Insane.
Recon, he can go in anywhere.
Bro, he's and he literally just gets like in these shitty situations because he's a fucking bitch. And he's just like scared of dying.
He's scared of
like,
hockey.
you know,
Yeah.
but like but scared of hockey. But he's a genius, but isn't like a fighter. But
Right.
if you were a
Right.
strong hockey user and you had his fruit or smokers, well, his fruit is like the upgrade of smoker's fruit.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'd be dope if I had 2 fucking blunts in my mouth.
That
and I
might
was
be
smoking.
better than Katakuri if he controls gas in separately from
Everywhere.
his body and it
Everywhere.
could put hockey onto it.
Yep. And he could
That's
change
fucking
it.
cool.
You know, so he
He
could
could crush
change
you from the outside
if
or
you're
some shit.
yeah, if you're in a closed room, he could remove the gases in the room, and now the gravity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
like,
he could fill your fucking lungs up,
Right.
you know, and like explode them.
What
you
about
know?
the poison dude from Impel Down?
Magellan.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you got irritable bowel syndrome.
that's a problem.
That's-
That's
that-
bad downside.
If you didn't have to
bad
continue
downside.
to
Take
make
a
your
poopy?
because what if you're okay with the weaker version of it? Because he did that to make it stronger.
Stronger, yeah.
But he did
so-
not have it.
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' opinion on this because I have like what I think might be a hot take for devil fruits and their like kind of compatibility and shit. I think if you really think about it, Foxy's fruit is like a hard counter to Kizaru's
Oh,
fruit,
it's so sick.
right?
If he wasn't filler.
because he could slow
which one?
things
The
down.
slow
Oh,
fruit.
Yeah.
fuck
So
yeah.
he's going
when
at the
they're
speed of
standing
light.
on the cannonballs.
And his whole fucking
cool.
shtick is that he can move at the speed of light. But if he's affected by the slow fruit, where he gets his shit slowed
How does
down,
he affect you again with it?
he makes you like basically.
But then he just
get-
looks at you.
You get caught in
you
like
get hit with
his-
a beam, like
beam.
the,
Okay, right.
Bo Hancock's thing.
Oh,
you know?
right. The beam, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
So you got Foxy
sick.
and fucking Kizaru pulls up and he just hits him with a slow for it. He can't do shit.
Facts.
That's interesting. That's cool. I think that's a good counter for that though.
He's a good dude. That would be a good person to have on.
And he
If he
could
wasn't
box
a
him
filler
up.
character,
Bing, 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 bing.
you know,
Dude, that's yeah. I mean, that's
that's
a
a
cool
slept
thing.
on devil fruit, man.
But also too, if you got Iron Body or something like that, I think maybe you can deflect Kizaru. Like if you're really fighting him and he's hitting you with his
Well, I mean, obviously,
his
you
fruit
see-
and you just got hockey body
Of course, people are able to do
and
it.
just plink like Rayleigh.
He's just able to move so fast and be able to transport.
It's.
that
I mean, you
problem.
have to keep up with him. Once you misstep, then you're fucking done for sure.
Yeah.
But we had the Minato versus Kizaru debate once.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
shit.
thought that we were debated that the Flying Raijin, though, if he can pull it off, it's instantaneous. So he could beat Kizaru.
Yeah,
But
that
he would
makes
have
sense.
to dodge the kick in order to do it.
Yeah.
Which would be hard.
Yeah, if it is instantaneous, because like there's like instantaneous means you're kind of simultaneously occupying 2 positions
Right.
in like a particular moment, right? Because like it's like there's no time that passes
Yeah.
between you being there and there. So yeah, like moving at the speed of light is not as fast.
Can't
you know?
be.
As
By
instantaneous.
logic.
Yeah. By
Exactly.
logic.
Yeah.
By logic, yeah. So
That
it's-
makes sense.
But then he would have to be able to dodge it.
and be able to touch him. But that's
Well,
That's
you
why
know,
I
because you
think
can do
that,
the
like-
kunai thing,
And
like
you
with
can do the
Obito. Like just Obito, Kizaru, the same shit.
Well, it seems like you by default you kind of have to have future sight to be able to keep up with him, right? Because like
Oh, yeah, that's
your
true, too.
your reflexes are not going to be able to like move at the speed of light. You got to know where he's going to be and then
it's a
anticipate
one shot.
that.
So is that a foreshadow
You gotta
of-
guess.
Is that a foreshadow of Rayleigh's observation when he hits Kizaru's kick?
Yeah, I think he's got to have fucking.
He has
future
insane
sight.
observation.
Yeah, no, he
ability.
shows it with Luffy when he's dodging him with the blindfold on the island, and then Luffy can't do it. Yeah, it's just, Rayleigh's just like, yo, this is just basic.
Yeah.
Like my observation is way above this
Way
basic,
above.
and he's like, He can see your moves with just not even looking at it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
like-
mean, you figure his superior or Shanks, who is well regarded as the best hockey in the universe in the verse right now,
as we would assume.
as you could assume, Rayleigh
Not as
was
good
his
at the
superior
sword,
for starters, and Shanks was able to fucking tell that Greenhorn was on Wano when he wasn't even in Wano. He was outside of Wano. Wasn't even in there, and he goes, "Oh, dude,
Yeah.
That was the rawest fucking display of hockey that we've ever seen. When he scares the admiral off, bro, like with just his conquerors like fucking miles off the coast.
yeah, and he's
Ridiculous.
Like, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want a problem with
I'm
that.
not even trying to fuck around right now.
No one wants to." Fuck
Oh, dude, that makes a good point. Remember?
That's the episode that came out today.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, in the anime.
It's actually crazy that just happened. I didn't watch it yet either, but I know for a fact that that's the episode that came out today because the Greenhorn fight started last week.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I did like that in the anime. I don't watch a lot of the anime. I just read the manga, but like they did expand a little bit on him being like him emphasizing, and I think it kind of put a little bit of the debates to rest. Him, Green Bull or whatever, emphasizing.
Oh, that's why I could call him Greenhorn.
Yeah,
Is that the guy with the wood wood force?
Yeah, his name's Green Bull. And
for-
fucking yeah. He was like saying like over and over again in the anime, like to King and Queen, like, what's the matter? Like, your weakened bodies can't keep up with me. You know, it's like you guys are so fucking injured, you can't even defend yourself. And like that wasn't really in the manga, so people were saying like, oh, he's stronger than King and Queen.
But they were like on the verge of death.
They're about to fucking die. Yeah, they
Yeah.
could hardly like stay away from him. You know, so yeah, like I do like that they gave a little more context.
I agree.
For that. You know, kind of cleared that
The
up.
anime is good for that, and it is noted that, you know, although it technically isn't canon because the conversation didn't necessarily happen, there's a debate that we always have. Is like, yo, Oda was there. Oda produced it.
Oda was the
Yeah.
guy.
You know,
It came out of
it's his
fucking head.
creation.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So he was like, yeah, let them know that they were fucked up.
Yeah.
Let them know that they were down in the dirt, and this dude came through and wiped them up. You know, don't make it seem, because he probably sees what people talk about.
Of
sure.
course.
And he's like, oh,
you-
nah, dude, they're
Why
not
do you-
they're not that weak. Nah, dude, these are King's top dudes, like, or these are Kaido's top dudes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
King
for
was
sure
a Lunarian,
knows
so
what people are talking about. Why do you think he fucking made Law a woman for a panel?
Yeah,
You know?
right. Yeah.
He sees the fan art.
or why he animated Gear 5 with Looney Tunes sounds, and why he hired Looney Tunes animators to animate it is because he saw the debate on Toon Force, and he goes,
And he
I'm
went-
gonna
let's go
I'm gonna
into
let
it, lean
everyone
into it."
know what this is real quick.
Yeah,
It's Toon
yeah.
Force. He's tuned.
Yo, back to the thing with Shanks hockey, because you know how we had the Shanks Mihawk debate, whatever. And one of Shanks' feats was that before he got to Marineford, supposedly he had a standoff with Kaido and pushed Kaido back. Maybe
Sent him back,
Maybe
yeah.
send him back. Maybe it was a battle of conquerors hockey. It wasn't even a fight. Like they just both and then fucking he beat Kaido. Was like, oh fuck, all right, fuck,
Kaido's
I'm
whole
out of
crew
here.
went down.
And then Shanks was like, all right, I'm out to Marineford. Like fuck this. Like
Very
you
easily
like you
could've been,
happy?
yeah.
Like
Well,
and
he
then we're
wasn't
out.
banged up when
Because
got
he wasn't
there.
banged up, and Kaido never seen. There's never a thing that says Kaido lost to Shanks. It just says they met up and he turned him back. So was Kaido on his way to Marineford?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, don't come here." And then,
Everyone was.
And then he shut
everyone
it.
was going to Marineford.
Yeah,
That was
yes.
kind of, you know.
Yeah, so then he-
Whitebeard's whole shit was there.
and he told Kaido
was there
turn
for
around.
Smoke. He was just trying to fight, I think.
So it
Yeah.
had to be a conqueror's battle where it wasn't even like an action, because like they didn't come beat up because they were ready to fight at
Yeah,
Marineford.
everyone was straight.
Yeah.
No one was beat up on Shanks.
So that's a weird- That's a cool thing. But Mihawk would have took them all down.
All right, I think, dude. Unless you guys got anything, I think we covered a lot of it, man.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
Anything else
totally.
that you wanted to bring up?
Any other
No, that's probably
obscure
about
things,
it.
maybe?
Yeah, I gotta say, just for like future of One Piece, major things I'm excited for are
Yeah, that's a
obviously
good one.
like, you know, reveals of the Gorosei fruits,
Yep.
reveals of like Emu and their
Mm-hmm.
true nature and
Yep.
what they look like and all that shit, and obviously like what the One Piece is, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. But I think we're rapidly approaching it. So like, yeah, it's never been more exciting to be a One Piece fan than like right the fuck now.
Absolutely.
Oh, I have one question then. So the one thing when Roger's crew gets a laugh tail,
Mm-hmm.
and then they all decide they don't want to be pirates anymore, pretty much. Do you think there's anything about that? Like,
Yeah, I think that it's like, I think that my pet theory is just that there's like a prophecy of Joy Boy returning,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Oh, Joy Boy, I wish I could have been born in your time," you know. And people reading that initially probably think that he was speaking backwards, but I think that he's speaking forwards.
Because
like,
he knew what it
Joy
was.
Boy's coming back.
Well,
And
in
he
Odin's
knew it.
notebook, it says that he is.
and
Yeah.
Like Momo and Yamato both know. They don't know what the One Piece is because that was the only page that was ripped out, but they do know that they all knew that Joy Boy was coming back.
Yeah.
They knew
Yeah,
who
they
Luffy
knew.
was before Luffy
Oden
knew
knew
who
everything.
Luffy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that Shanks, was privy to all this. I think that's what Roger told him. We still don't know what he said to him before he like left and died and all that shit. But
Yeah.
I think that
Like Kobe to
what he told
fucking
him was probably the
Jordan
prophecy of
Kobe.
Nika, and like the popular theory is that he thought that Ace was the one he was talking about and the one that Roger was waiting for.
was
and
his
all that.
son.
Yeah, he thought that it was
Right,
Ace,
right,
know,
right.
and like so he was like the theory is that he went there and was bringing the Nika Nika no Mi to like the village that Luffy lived in because he was there to give it to Ace, and then Luffy just ate it surreptitiously, and so
because Ace would have been there at that point.
yeah, he was there, he was on the island.
Oh
you
wow,
know?
yeah.
So the idea is that like so like the real prophecy was speaking of Luffy. Ace misinterpreted it and thought it was talking about Ace, or
Shanks.
Shanks misinterpreted. Thought about and then so we're seeing that kind of play out right now, and I think we're just gonna kind of learn more and more about
So the
how it's all
fruit
connected.
got to him either way, even though he was bringing it to the wrong person.
Yeah, because
that's
like
kinda crazy.
as we know, Luffy is like fucking fated to do this. Like that's what they say
Right.
over and over again is
And
that
even
he has,
Saturn just
he has
said that,
insane
yeah.
luck. Like the fates are guiding him and all this shit. Like he's basically fulfilling.
And
a
it could have
prophecy.
never been Ace because Ace was not free. He was looking for a dad. He was looking for someone to be his
Luffy-
authority figure, and Luffy was not.
Completely
Luffy
free.
doesn't care. He's like, oh yeah, that's my dad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my grandpa.
yeah,
Well, like
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Marinara no Mi, right? Like Ace
The
represents
marinara
the,
know me.
Monera.
Yeah, my mom just made
marinara,
that.
yeah.
It's Sunday. It's Sunday.
Such a good one. No, that'd be such a good one.
Ace represents the setting sun, right?
Yeah.
Luffy represents the rising dawn.
Yeah.
And that's why Ace died with the fruit.
As the sun rose.
And then
Yeah.
and then they had to take him out, and that's when the time skip happened.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So
And he was
all
completely
connected.
Fiery
frozen.
sunset to the bright sunrise.
If they don't save him, Luffy dies too. Like Law and all them grab him, right?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
and
absolutely.
Jinbei, I think, takes him and
Yep.
throws him to Law.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, and like
that's
that,
fate.
that's why we
That's
keep talking about some fate and some luck and all that shit. Like, there's so many examples, besides just him on the executioner stand, but even like in Impel Down, Ivankov is saying like, there's no way he's gonna survive this
Yeah,
treatment
of
that I'm
course.
giving him,
Of course.
right? Like, there's like a fucking less than 1% chance, and he does
Yeah.
it, and they're like, you must have the fucking devil's luck, dude. Like,
Shadow Luffy, you're gonna die if we put all these shadows in you. There's no way you're gonna survive.
Yeah.
Only version of Luffy that's not as strong as Gear 5.
Yeah, that fucking
Shadow Luffy is top
super
dog.
strong.
top tier, bro. Yeah.
Top tier. If
Top
he
in the verse.
if he was able to do that with Moria right now as Gear 5
Put
and was
Shadow
able
Luffy
to
versus Emu.
Yo, Shadow Luffy with Gear
the-
5
yeah,
though.
samurais,
Shadow Luffy
everything,
with Gear
katana.
5 dog.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Because he could have multiple devil fruits, technically,
He
right?
did.
Yeah.
He had people's shit.
So cool.
That's my new. That'll be my new theory. Is that
Shadow
like
Luffy.
Shadow Luffy is how we beat Emu.
He
Dude,
turns to
100%.
Shadow Luffy instead of Gear 5. We're like, oh, here's
But what if he was able to do both? If he was able
That's
to
what I'm saying.
control his environment around him
While he's
and
Gear
had
5.
all these different devil fruit powers like Blackbeard
Yeah.
and was able to bro, that'd be out of this world.
Yeah.
He'd be unstoppable.
Here's the thing. I think the ultimate conflict that Luffy and Blackbeard are going to come down to is like
Cherry pie.
It's gonna be it's gonna all be about the
That's what the
cherry
One
pie.
Piece is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You
bro.
go, this doesn't taste good. You're like, this fucking tastes great.
Yeah, that's what the conflict really is. At the core of the story.
and they just fucking
Yep.
go on a pie eating contest.
Yeah, that's it.
It's gonna be hockey versus devil fruit, right? So like
Well, Kaido, right? He just mentioned that
was a
hockey
huge
beats
part of
devil fruit.
yeah, exactly.
So-
And so Blackbeard
We're gonna see
represents
this.
like devil fruit. Luffy represents hockey. Obviously, he has a devil fruit, but
Mm-hmm. Right.
like it's determination versus whatever dreams or something like that. Those are kind of the main
The
theme.
hockey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Also, too, to lend to the Ace thing, Luffy's the one that ends up in the shackles like Gold Roger, not Ace. Mm-hmm. So that's like the same, like, whether you're saying the fruit was supposed to go for Ace,
Yep.
but it went for Luffy, and then Luffy ends up in the
Ace
thing.
does end up in the shackles as well, and it's not at the same place. He
Yeah.
ends up at
Right.
at
Okay, yeah.
Marineford.
Yeah, you're right. He is. Yeah. That's true.
But he
true.
doesn't get executed the same.
He doesn't get.
Yeah.
He nearly got executed.
He got killed like Neji.
Rough. Yeah.
Eh.
I'll tell you.
Same scene.
No, he didn't get killed like Neji because we give a fuck about Ace.
I get, dude. Are you kidding me? Neji was the guy, bro.
Neji should have.
That shit
There's no
hurt.
At
way.
the point in Shippuden when Neji dies,
Dude,
you were fucked up about that.
Yeah, bro. Neji was the guy, bro.
He is with the
I forgot.
Byakugan.
When he dies, I was like, oh fuck, Neji was still here, huh?
Dude, no.
Dude, that the General Fist it should have been 360 fucking defense, but I don't know. That somehow there's a plot hole in there.
Well, it's everything. It's almost 360. It's one blind
No,
spot.
there's just a difference for when he does the General Fist. It's a full 360. For when he just has Byakugan, I think there's a blind spot.
All right. Let's close it out. You want to do some
Alrighty.
plugs?
We got a soft spot for Nedry.
Yeah, we do, dude. We do. We do.
Yeah.
They should have got killed by a fucking cool jitsu.
Then the 10 tails. Get the fuck
Not
out
a
of here.
stick through the heart.
Yeah, stakes through the heart, dude.
No, they should have got blown up at least.
Rough.
Where could they find you?
If you search Gambit Spotify on Google or Gambit Raps on any platform, then I'm on there. Check it out.
Hell yeah. You can find me, Mike Nice CT, on all the platforms. And check out all the fucking podcasts. We got Shedcast, Sports Morts, and now Village and Shed coming out with all the fucking best clips on the internet you can find. So follow us. Yeah, and new music, obviously, on Spotify.
Always. Me and Mikey got plenty of new music on the way. Hopefully, we'll have some new music coming out with Gambit on the sooner side, too.
Yeah.
That would be dope as hell. Shout out to Alien Entourage and Jeffrey Doomer for the studio and the whole joint. Shout out to our boys Pickle Pat the Thinker and Shed Tech 8 who couldn't be here with us tonight. Definitely go follow us on TikTok, all the platforms. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Give us a like, give us a rating. Put some comments in there. Let us know what you think. Definitely check out all the new content that we got coming on the way because we're going to be doing new chapters of manga all the time.
That JJK, baby.
Yep, that's one of the next ones on the way.
So crazy.
Want to give a big thanks to Gambit for coming through and being our
Absolutely.
first official
bro.
guest
Hell yeah.
outside of tech. And
Appreciate you guys out.
Great time.
yeah, absolutely.
But a good episode, too.
And yeah, you'll see us at Anime Con this month. We're going to be doing a couple other content trips as well. And me and Mikey got some show dates coming, so definitely make sure to stay tuned to those.
Absolutely. Can't
Go
wait.
to the big bird.
Super excited.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Date bio.
Got that bio.
Peace.
Peace.